Okay, so some of you know I have been coming to this church for quite some time, probably before I was in 6th grade. I'm 19 now. Before coming to Christ, I was a big ball of anxiety. My parents are divorced, so I was going back and forth between houses every 2 days. So my mom's Monday, Tuesday, dad's Wednesday, Thursday. Whoever had me that weekend had me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So me and my sisters like to joke that we were living out of duffel bags because we just never had time to unpack. So you can imagine how stressful that is, being 11 and 12 and having to still be doing that while going through changes into 6th grade. I didn't have very many believers in my life at a young age. My mom's family was Catholic, and they were what we call non-practicing Catholics, so they would only ever go to church during major holidays. My dad's side of the family, it was the whole, well, we believe that there's something, we just don't really believe that there's a big guy in the sky. So coming to Christ was kind of a little interesting. God definitely placed some amazing people in my life. Around the time I was in 5th grade, I had met this girl at my school, and she ended up inviting me to youth group about a year later. I knew she was a Christian. I didn't really know what that meant, so over the next year, we talked about it a lot, and I ended up going, and I loved it here. I had some amazing leaders. Lauren and Lizzie were absolutely amazing, but I had a little bit of a hard time with this friend later on. So about a month going into me continuing to go to youth group, I called her. Something had happened in my family, and I needed to talk. And somehow that conversation ended up turning into, well, you have a lot going on, and it doesn't seem like you really want to be at the youth group. It doesn't seem like you fit in there. So maybe you should just not come. So over the next 2 months, I ended up not going to youth group. I fell away for a little bit, and God definitely strategically placed me here specifically because my childhood best friend that I had had since I was 3 years old, we would hang out with her family all the time. And luckily, her cousin that I would hang out with all the time with her was at this youth group. And he continued to invite me back week after week until one week I was like, okay, let's go. And so he picked me up, dropped me off here with him, and his mom was great, and we ended up hanging out for a while over here, and he introduced me to everybody and made sure I felt so comfortable and so welcome. And I ended up coming back. And fast forward to 2019, I ended up flying out to go see that best friend in Idaho. It was my very first flight by myself. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I did an entire Bible study on the way of the plane. And I ended up getting there and deciding that throughout this week trip, I was going to go and spend every morning and just do like a hard reset on my routine and do a Bible study every morning. Well, halfway through my trip, I decided that I wanted to be baptized. So Idaho time versus California time, I called my youth pastor at 6 a.m, California time. And I told him I need to get baptized when I get home. And we were in the middle of doing beach days for the youth group. So he was like, okay, well, let's do it on the last beach day. And I was like, perfect. So fast forward to August 15th of 2019, I ended up getting baptized at Silver Strand by my friend who ended up bringing me back to the youth group and by my youth pastor. And by far, it was one of the best decisions I have ever made. I will never forget that feeling of just feeling complete and feeling so supportive and so loved. And since coming to Christ and since getting baptized, I have never met so many supportive people as I have in my life today. My life group is absolutely amazing. I love each and every one of you guys. Hi. And my anxiety has just been so well, and any time that I feel super anxious, I just give it to God, and I know that He's going to take care of it, and I know that He's going to handle it. And prayer is so powerful for me. He's also morphed my relationships with my sisters. We were at a point before Christ where I could not be in the same room with my younger sister for longer than like 20 minutes. And we were arguing all the time, and now you see me and Kaylin. She's over in Children's. I'm sure y'all have seen her. but we can be around each other's friends and be screaming music in the car and go take road trips, and we can have so much fun together. And I just could never thank God enough for that and for giving me my sisters back. They're absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's how I came to Jesus.